This song is amazing. It just has a few bad words. You have to watch this show. Just skip that one weird scene. We have all made these exact bargains while scrolling. We tend to treat the things we watch and listen to like an arithmetic equation. The logic goes that if 99% of a movie features great cinematography and an engaging plot, it mathematically outweighs the 1% of gratuitous violence or explicit messaging. But this relies on a specific cognitive glitch known as the fallacy of composition. We assume the high-quality elements of a piece of media exist in total isolation, completely unaffected by the toxic parts sitting right next to them. We picture our brains functioning like a mechanical sieve, imagining we can absorb the good stuff while effortlessly catching and discarding the harmful bits at the top of the mesh. In reality, our brains function as high-speed blenders. Every input is integrated into a single cohesive experience, meaning those minor compromises leave a permanent mark on the final product. A father named Glendon was standing in his kitchen, listening to his teenage kids, Grant and Ray, rattle off those exact same excuses from the living room couch. They were trying to justify why they should be allowed to watch a popular show with some questionable moments. Glendon didn't deliver a lecture. Instead, he started working on their favorite weekend tradition. He methodically scooped premium chocolate ice cream into a blender, added fresh whole milk, and a dash of vanilla extract, establishing a perfectly pure, high-quality base. The kids rushed in, excited for the milkshakes they had enjoyed hundreds of times before. But then, Glendon snatched a housefly buzzing against the window pane, brought it over to their finished milkshakes, and dropped it right into the glass. The reaction was instant. The kids recoiled in absolute horror, their faces contorting in physical revulsion. Glendon looked up and parroted their own arguments right back at them. He pointed out that the fly was just one small impurity. By their logic, it shouldn't matter. After all, a tiny bug isn't what the milkshake is really about. The silence in the kitchen spoke louder than any lecture. They realized that when we tolerate just one bad scene or a few bad words, we are choosing to consume the fly alongside the ice cream. The milkshake works as a metaphor because human memory is deeply integrative. You cannot watch a movie and simply unwatch a specific minute of it. By the time you've identified a scene as harmful, you have already processed it. Think of it like a 5-course gourmet meal at a high-end restaurant. If the chef plates that beautiful meal on a dish wiped with a dirty floor rag, the bacteria doesn't stay in one corner. It turns the entire dish into a health hazard. Psychologically, our brains are wired to retain shocking or negative imagery much more vividly than positive imagery. A single scene of intense cruelty creates a dark anchor in our memory that bleeds over into our perception of the entire story. This spread changes the nature of the entire experience. Once the ingredients are combined, the distinction between pure and contaminated disappears. The milkshake is simply ruined. This is why Glendon's object lesson worked so well. A standard lecture would have met immediate intellectual defensiveness, but by using a contaminated milkshake, he triggered a biological instinct. He linked their physical disgust directly to his moral point. Whenever those kids faced questionable media in the future, that sensory memory of a fly in a blender would serve as a permanent, natural warning system. Moving that analog kitchen lesson into today's digital landscape is difficult. Living by a strict pure ingredient standard is now a constant uphill battle. Modern social media feeds are designed to auto-blend content. You don't even have to search for the harmful material anymore. The algorithm throws the fly into your glass without asking for your consent. And if you choose to filter out every piece of media that has a flaw, you run into a real social cost. Finding entertainment with zero impurities is rare, and striving for it can lead to total isolation from your peers. The fear of missing out on daily cultural conversations, the inside jokes at school, or the viral trends at work is massive. That pressure to belong pushes us right back toward passive consumption. Navigating this requires intense intentionality. You have to transition from being a passive consumer to becoming an active gatekeeper of your own peace of mind, which is exhausting in an era of infinite access. The current environment presents a clear trade-off. You must either exert the energy to gatekeep your own peace of mind or surrender to the blender and consume whatever is served. Because make no mistake, Once the blades spin, the damage to your psychological landscape is permanent. The writer Brett K. Stubbs notes that integrity isn't really about the 99% of things we manage to keep pure. Integrity is defined by the 1% we refuse to let in. We have to stop making bargains with the media we consume. As Stubbs puts it, you can't enjoy the sweetness if you're willing to swallow the sting. The beauty of a well-lived life isn't found in the sheer volume of content we manage to consume. It is found in the hard boundaries we draw and the impurities we have the courage to filter out.